¿Cómo se llama? Me llamo Ben. Buene, ¿y tú? Estoy video games Hack El Dino. Me llamo Ben Rosenthal. ¿Tú se llama? Floppy. Anto aquí también. Anto. Bueno! So how many of you shat yourself thinking I was going to do the whole show in Spanish?
I thought I'd had a stroke and forgot English.
I'm not sure whether or not we've offended anyone.
That was actual Spanish. I
Okay,
used
that's
to
fine.
be able to speak very bad Spanish. But we are Hack the Dino.
I used to be able to speak very bad Spanish. Now I speak terrible Spanish.
Yeah, it's awful. This is Hack the Dino, our gaming cast, where we bring you the very best news, previews, and discussions from the video game universe. The best kind of universe, because all the universes that aren't video games suck. You ever been to the algebra universe?
Oh, only once, but I
Sucks.
couldn't figure it out.
Crap. Anto, what's your favourite universe?
I think my favorite universe is the one we currently live in. Video
Why?
games, good people, good times, toy fairs.
Yeah, but have you seen what else goes on in this universe that we're currently in?
Yeah, but we don't live in America, so it's fine.
That's true. Hello to all our American listeners and viewers who make up about, I think, last count, about
40%?
70%.
Or 70%
70% of our listenership.
Whoops.
Anto's views aren't that of Hack the Dino. You can send all our correspondence
Cancel it, sorry.
To cancel Enter, it's the first.
at Final Fantasy on Instagram. But Floppy,
Yes, mate.
if you could live in any universe,
Yes.
what universe would you like to live in?
Oh.
Now we're all supporters of string theory here.
Yes.
Good. Floppy, you know what string theory is?
Nah.
Anto, what's string theory?
I can't explain it in detail, but multiverses. That's all you need to know about.
Basically.
Oh, okay. No, I don't believe in multiverses.
No?
No.
Smash Bros. Is better
it's-
anyway.
I think it just means that's a lazy storytelling.
Really?
Yep.
Even though science has pretty much proven that it's true.
What?
Yeah.
Nah, get out of town.
No, they're pretty certain there are multiverses.
Nah,
Like,
rubbo.
running concurrently alongside of us. They
Mate,
are
are you sure you
fairly
weren't watching
certain.
a documentary? You were watching a Marvel film?
No, I wasn't watching a documentary. These are scientific papers that I like to read because this stuff interests me.
Surely not.
It's theoretical at the moment. It hasn't been proven, but it's very, very strongly supported.
theoretical.
Well, I mean, all science is
Like the
theoretical. It's the
G-spot.
amount of evidence that you have to back it up.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a comedy podcast.
Yeah, we just went all science on your butt.
Anyway, where would you want to live if you could?
I think I would like to live slightly north of the Jurassic period.
So Triassic?
Sure.
Or is that Cretaceous? I'm not sure.
Not 100% sure either, but wherever dinosaurs existed with people and we got to ride them.
That sounds like a pretty good universe.
So dinosaurs didn't go extinct? You know, I often wonder if that meteor didn't hit and dinosaurs were
We
still
would be
around.
their pets.
We would, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we'd be their food.
They would be more humanoid, do you reckon? How would
Like
have they
the
evolved?
like the TV show Dinosaurs.
You reckon?
Yeah, they'd wear plaid.
Okay, no, we need to escape that universe because that's terrifying.
Nah, it'd be pretty cool, actually.
Mama.
That was a good show. Do you know that show rated extremely well? But they had to cancel it because it cost too much money to make.
What?
Yeah, that's why it only
costumes.
lasted one season.
One cistern.
One system.
Only got one cistern.
It only got one system in before it blew up due to a meteor. I would live in the universe where
You got to
we
be
didn't
the
have.
Green Goblin?
Sorry?
Where you got to be the Green Goblin?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. So I would be Norman Osborn. I would be raised by a loving couple. But then one day my smart, intelligent, scientific father would get ideas stolen off him and he'd be driven out of his business. Then because I was a small young boy of 7 and somewhat psychotic, yet it hadn't shown itself, I would realize that we need to get rid of a mouth to feed. So kill my puppy. So there was one less mouth to feed. Then I would have a son with a wife that I love very, very much and treat her like absolute crap and beat my son. Before my wife died, then I would create an experiment to become the maniacal Green Goblin and go and kill Floppy's girlfriend by throwing her off a bridge.
You saying I'm Spider-Man?
Yep.
I changed my answer. I want to live there.
So Floppy and I would battle throughout many, many years. I would sometimes lose my memory, sometimes not. Before finally getting a shot in the chest with a magical shotgun. I like the way Anto's picture here is perfectly describing what he's actually doing now. I got shot in the chest with a magical shotgun, which mystically got rid of all my evil. And now,
shotgun.
even though Floppy and I are bitter enemies, and for many, many years I've done stuff like, kidnap his aunt and held her hostage, making him think that his aunt had actually died, made a clone, or been behind the professor who made a clone and made Floppy wonder whether he was real or not, whether he was the original or not, tortured Floppy himself by putting him in a chair and wiring him up to electronics, and all he had to do was reach for the dark glass of water as opposed to the light one, but every time he reached for the light one, he got a huge electric shock that almost killed him each time. Besides all
That was a bad time.
Besides all that, because I got shot with a mystical shotgun and all my bad got out, we're buddies now, and you work for me.
Yeah, I won't look.
Makes
I won't
sense.
lie.
Makes sense.
I'm skeptical.
Makes sense.
Skeptical.
What the hell are we doing?
Right.
Video games.
Video games.
What are we talking about this show?
Pretty sure ones that need to be remade, which could be that intro.
Explosion! There, you missed it. There was an explosion here. We're all safe though. Thanks to your love and support. Thanks to our Care Bears. That's right, everyone out there. You're all Care Bears. And you gave us that Care Bear stare as we were getting out the shower and went, "What are you doing?" And
Use bites.
I'm giving you my love.
Use bites.
They showed their tummy.
Use bites, Ben.
And the happiness just came out of the tummy.
Ben.
And protected us from the explosion.
News bites.
News bites. Okay, so very, very quickly, a couple of topics that we haven't touched on previously, but I think are worth bringing up. The main one being Forza Horizon. The first one is being remade. You know that game that's like 5 years old?
Do you mean Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah.
You said Forza Horizon.
You said Forza Horizon.
Why did I say Forza Horizon?
No
Don't
idea.
know.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn, the first Horizon game, is being remade, which is like
Man,
3
Aloy
years old.
needs a car. So it will come to the PlayStation 5 and will bring many elements from Horizon Zero Dawn more in line with what we've seen in Forbidden West. Guerrilla wants to bring in many of the accessibility features that were seen in Horizon Forbidden West to this remake of Zero Dawn.
Sorry, you could have patched those into the current one. There is no need for a remake.
Absolutely. Well, there is. There's money.
Sorry, yeah, there is.
So I think the best comment I saw on this was from Brian Altano from IGN, and he just retweeted the news story and then said, "Next up, Sony remasters last Thursday."
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think that, it's getting ridiculous. Last of Us, I can understand.
No, I can't. You
I
didn't need
disagree.
it.
Yeah, Last of Us didn't need it either.
It had been released on the PS3. It got remastered for the PS4. I've played some of the new one. If you didn't tell me which one I was looking at, I couldn't have told you probably.
I mean, so we all agree that a remaster of Zero Dawn is not needed?
It's not needed, no. As much as I love that game, that was my favourite game of that year, one of my favourite games of all time. It does not need a remaster yet.
The stupid thing to me about remastering the first one is it already got a patch that makes it run at 4K HDR on PS5 and even PS4 Pro. Like, it runs at a solid frame rate in 4K already.
Yeah.
All you need to do is patch in the accessibility menu and work that into it, and it still looks comparable to Forbidden West.
Yeah, I don't get it. All I can think of is they've got a TV show coming out soon.
They just want to reignite interest and make more money. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Well, I mean, I do feel sorry for them in a way because it came out and then a month later Breath of the Wild came out and just stole all its thunder.
Yeah.
Whether they think they missed out on sales, but it just seems a little bit money grubby.
Very
to
much
me.
so.
And you're a fan, Floppy, so I was more than interested in hearing your opinion.
Yeah, as much as I love that game, I don't like that time, that money, those people could have been better used somewhere else.
Now, we've mentioned previously, but Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a sequel. It was a surprise announcement during a CD Projekt Red investors call. There's no release window for it. Obviously, it'll come out after the DLC, which is why they said we're only getting one DLC. They also announced 3 more Witcher titles and a new IP. So, good for them, I guess. Hopefully they finish the game before releasing it this time.
Yeah, I'm just hoping they've learnt the lesson from the
I think they
end
definitely
development
have.
cycle and the 12 years of hype. Like, it just show it when you've got something to show, release it when it's ready. Shut up.
I think Cyberpunk was a necessary evil, if you ask me. Like, it set the litmus test for what people expect now,
Yeah.
Yes.
and set the litmus test for people going, when they're complaining about a game, you can just go, well, do you want another Cyberpunk? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I
Well, then
think
wait. Be
There's
patient.
also the benefit of them making a new one at this stage. Like, it's not going to come out for at least, and this is, a generous sort of like olive branch I'm giving them. It's not going to come out for at least another 3 to 4 years.
Oh, man, I'd say 6 at least.
I mean, if they build on the engine, it could be a little bit shorter, but yeah, like, it could be 3 to 6 years.
Yeah.
They've got the benefit of not launching on underpowered, 10-year-old hardware.
Yeah. Speaking of underpowered hardware,
Yes, mate.
I said hardware, not software.
Underwear or?
I said hardware, not software.
Oh.
Overwatch 2 launched. Well, tried to launch.
Isn't it launching today?
So it suffered DDoS attacks and hasn't actually got up yet. But the geniuses
Man, people are
over there at Overwatch
a-holes.
closed the original Overwatch servers before launching the second one. So no one's been able to play Overwatch for about a week, which has angered some people, as well as new players have to
You
grind.
know what? Angered who? Like, they didn't plan on getting hacked
Getting what?
or DDoS attacks or whatever the hell they're called.
Dedicated Denial of Service, I believe it stands for.
Thank you. They didn't plan on that happening.
No. But
Oh,
you know
plans
what
on that happening.
I planned on happening?
What did you plan on happening?
Stadia dying.
Yeah, I think everyone saw that coming.
I think
Everyone saw
even when
that
it was
coming.
announced by Google, and
Yeah.
people are going, oh, wow, this is really cool. How long before Google shuts it down? Admittedly, it's lasted longer than I thought.
It did, didn't it? Admittedly, I didn't realize it was still going.
They are shutting down on January 18th. They have said that they will refund all purchases made through the Stadia store, and Ubisoft Plus subscribers will be able to continue using their subscriptions until a later date. One thing I found interesting, though, remember start of the year, late last year, Kojima mentioned that he had a game that he was in the process of developing be cancelled.
Okay, so he always says stuff like that, though. I don't believe anything he says anymore.
Yeah, it's come out that Stadia got him to do an exclusive follow-up to Death Stranding, exclusive for the Stadia,
I thought that was a rumor.
and that's what got canned.
That's hilarious.
So they deserve to die because no one harms Kojima.
Nah,
Speaking
Death
of harming
Stranding wasn't
Kojima,
good. Death
Floppy.
Stranding wasn't good.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Speaking of Kojima,
Yes, mate.
what segue do you like the best about him?
I like that I would like some of his games remade.
Yeah. That's a segue you can sink your teeth into.
It
Could
is.
say that we want him to kick things into Metal Gear and produce something solid for one. I don't know.
Sounds like a bowel movement, man.
Yeah.
No,
that's why
no,
I
no,
taped
no.
it off
If-
at the end there.
if it was a bowel movement, it'd be Boktai.
Boktai?
Boktai.
That's the solar-powered Game Boy game.
It is. That goes for like $500.
Yes, okay. No, so we are looking at overlooked remakes that we think need to happen.
Yeah. Now define we.
Now, I'm getting to that. So, with the plethora of remakes that have happened over the last few years, and there has been a lot, some of them necessary, some of them not so much,
Sea Horizon.
we decided to gather a few together that we and the Patreons think that have been overlooked. So, I put this question out to, obviously, myself. I sat down, had a good hard talk to myself about what I think needs to be remade. Then I put it forward to Ben and Anto and Braden. And I also put it forward to our Patreons to throw out some ideas of what games they think need to be remade.
The old Patoots over on the Patreon exclusive Discord, which you can
Boom.
join for as little as $2. But we'll be talking about that a little bit later on.
Later on. I did put in a prerequisite, which either a lot of people ignored or didn't read, which was I was looking for pre-PS3 and 360 stuff. So I wanted to go in, or pre-PS3, 360 and Wii. I wanted to go older. See what games are from our childhoods, essentially. Most of our childhoods and some of us before we were born, needed remakes, but haven't had them yet for whatever reasons. So I think we've got 10. Yes,
Sure.
we do. We have 10. I'm going to kick it off with the first one. I chose Silent Hill. Now I know it's been talked about a lot.
Heavily rumoured. There's
Heavily
supposedly
rumoured.
been some screenshots.
Never happened. Pretty sure I've got a video there. Thank you. So this originally came out on the PS1 in 1999. It's survival horror using more of a psychological horror theme than it was like the common sort of the B-movie shock value theme that a lot of other games used.
Jump scares.
Yeah. Jump scares. So it went really deep into your psychological horror and atmospheric stuff. You're playing as old mate Harry, who's looking for his missing adopted daughter. There's a cult that's trying to revive its deity. Did you know there were 5 different endings to this game? One of which was a joke ending?
The famous Silent Hill dog endings?
Yeah, we've talked about that previously.
I think we have talked about that.
Yep.
Anyway, we've seen what can happen with survival horror remakes. We've seen Resident Evil. I think this game, specifically with the story that it tells, the settings that it has, the characters, would be amazing.
You know what? This still doesn't look that bad.
I know it doesn't, but imagine if it got the Resident Evil treatment.
That's true.
This is something I would love to see. I would really like to see them do that. I think
I'd love to see HD fog.
Yeah, HD fog, 4K fog. Yeah, would be unreal. I would love to see this. The characters, the settings is just iconic.
I quite often, whenever I do one of the deliveries for one of the places I deliver coffee to, is up in the Adelaide Hills, and on a cold morning,
Get the fog.
Yep.
Get Silent Hill vibes.
And I always go, yeah, Silent Hill, because it's like this old town, like an old township.
Yeah.
So you got it's really old buildings and this fog just rolling in. You can't see more than 2 meters ahead of you. Great times.
Driving in that.
Oh, I died. I'm Ben's ghost.
I have a very brief story I'd like to share about Silent Hill.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
The first time and only time I've played this, I bought it when it was re-released on PSP as a classic.
Yes.
I started playing this at 2 a.m. in
Silly
the middle
boy.
of a windy, horribly rainy English summer evening.
It's not very
I
silent.
like how you say rainy, windy English summer evening.
Yeah. And I had a pair of over-ear studio Sony headphones at the time, so I had those plugged into my PSP, and I'm holding it right up to my face, middle of the night. Started playing this, got to the segment where it gets very dark at the beginning of the game, and then all of these creepy baby monsters appear out of the ground and start chasing you through a playground.
See you later.
I basically threw my PSP across the room, turned it off. I've never gone back to it,
And
but
never
I'd
slept.
love to. Absolutely want this to be remade.
Dude, yeah. This is it is a brilliant little capture of storytelling in PS1's history. Love it.
Agreed. I guess it's my turn now, isn't
Number
it?
2, I've got you down for this one, Anto. What are we
I
talking
promise
about?
I'll keep it brief. So, everyone knows I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan.
Correct.
I am of the opinion that although Final Fantasy VII is my personal favorite in the series, Final Fantasy IX is the best encapsulation of everything that Final Fantasy is. It's the best example of what that game is at the core, and I think 9 deserves a remake more than any other, because we've just got 7 Remake, that's become a whole, multi-installment project of its own. 8, as popular as it was, still didn't sell as much as 9 or 7 did, and 9 was kind of overshadowed no more than 9 months... Overshadowed. About 9 months later when Final Fantasy X launched on PlayStation 2. So even though 9 sold gangbusters, it sold millions, just like the other 2 PlayStation 1 installments did, I feel like it needs another shot, and it would be great to see this get a Studio Ghibli sort of style remake where it still uses sprites and animation instead of 3D models because of the way the characters are designed. And I think that would absolutely blow the world away.
So if you were to get it to look like something that exists now, what would you pick?
Oh man, that's a question you should have prepped me for in the car on the way here.
I just thought of it.
I think realistically, it would probably best suit the kind of 3D animation that Ni no Kuni or something like that
okay, yep.
got. Because in terms of the story content and the character designs, it's not Link's Awakening. I think that's a bit too far.
I can get the Ni no Kuni stuff. Yeah, that'd be
The Ni no
cool.
Kuni style, the realistically proportioned characters, but with that sort of anime twist.
Yep.
I think that would be the perfect way to do it because of the content of the story and the way the characters are portrayed. Because the original was very sort of high fantasy Japanese lore kind of influenced is
cool.
all I'm going to say. But yeah, I think it needs a remake, that kind of art style, or just a that'd just be the best way to do it.
Fantastic.
I'm going to shut up now.
All right, next one we've given to you, Ben.
Oh, good, because I play this game all the time. Simpsons Hit and Run for the PS2, Xbox, GameCube. Came out in 2003. It's an action-adventure game with the family under Apu,
And a poo. Yeah.
encountering many strange goings-on in Springfield, leading to the aliens Krang and Kodos. With a number of melee attacks and many vehicles to drive, it draws inspiration from GTA 3. So, Hit and Run, what was the Crazy Taxi ripoff?
That was Road Rage.
That was Road Rage, which I think came before this.
Yeah, it was about
Yeah.
a year or two before.
So they basically just reskinned GTA.
So they essentially reskinned a GTA thing and made it semi-family friendly with Simpsons skins.
Right.
But it is so much fun.
Yeah.
Have you not actually ever played it?
I've not played those Simpsons
My God, I
games.
thought you played it. No, Dylan the Villain suggested this one from the chat.
Ah,
I
there
actually
you
played
go.
this again quite recently with Coda. It surprisingly still holds up. Like, there's a few bits and pieces that are a bit, I think modern game design would probably take them out.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's a sandbox that took major inspiration from the GTA series when it made the jump to 3D. And, The Simpsons is a property that's been around for, 40 years now?
Too long.
32 years, I think.
32
It came out
long.
in 1989 or something.
I think this would do really well as a remake, personally.
I think this would be...
And I'd play it again.
Yeah, I think this would be fun. I think it's the right amount of time. It's almost 20 years old. I think having it skinned... Because it was quite polygonal still back then. So if you put a nice, smooth, animated look on it, but not like the Uncanny Valley animated sort of thing. Kind of like you said before when you were talking about the Ni no Kuni style. Just that sort of a thing, I think, would look great for Simpsons Hit and Run. And then you've got the open world. You're getting out your vehicles. Maybe a bit more verticality.
I think it should look like, that episode of Treehouse of Horror where Homer gets sucked into
Was
the
it
3D.
Chile?
Of a 3D world.
Yeah, the 3D world.
Oh,
Where it was like early 90s 3D technology.
That'd be great.
That's how it
Ate
should
the
look.
chili?
No,
That
it's
was
early
when
one.
he had like an acid flashback because he ate the chilies at the festival.
Oh, I think I brained my damage.
No, it was Treehouse of Horror. And he
No,
gets
I think
sucked into the
Floppy's
real world.
Referring to a different episode.
Oh, yeah, I'm referring to a different one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, make the Homer 3D Tron
Make
thing.
the Homer 3D Tron. Number 4. You can tell which ones I picked because they're all PlayStation related and survival horror related because it's my jam. Dino Crisis. We totally need a Dino Crisis remake. If you have not played a Dino Crisis game, it is Resident Evil with Jurassic Park. This came out in 1999 for the PS1, Dreamcast, and PC. Survival horror and action adventure. So it's basically Resident Evil meets Jurassic Park. It's owned by Capcom, so come on, Capcom.
Remember
You've done it once, do it again.
E3 this year when they announced that dinosaur...
Exoprimal.
Yeah, Exoprimal game, and everyone got excited because they thought it was Dino Crisis, and then it wasn't, and everyone went, oh, go away.
So they picked up on the Resident Evil stuff a little bit, where they got the 3D real-time backgrounds in this instead of the pre-rendered backgrounds that you moved around.
And you keep trying to look up T-Rex's skirt, which is a bit gross.
Has a female protagonist, a secluded island research facility that has been overrun with dinosaurs. The dinosaurs were quick too, no slow zombies. They were quick, intelligent, and violent. Capcom actually marketed this as panic horror. So
Panic horror?
Yeah, I know.
That's
Can
a
you imagine
really
what they
good
would do now
description.
with like maybe first person? I think I'd like to see it stick as a third person, personally. So you can get a bit more of the background, a bit more of the atmosphere, see things creeping around the corner. But then, sneaking through a facility, popping out of a door and having a velociraptor or a... What's the other word?
Deinonychus.
Deinonychus.
I've just had a brainwave.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Imagine if this came out as a remake. Third person, first person, doesn't matter.
Yep.
Give us the visuals from today.
Yep.
Like things like Resident Evil 8, potentially.
Mhm.
But include stuff like the AI from Alien Isolation, where the dinosaurs are smart and pay attention. And if Velociraptors group together, they start cornering you into rooms and stuff.
Okay, so the AI in Alien Isolation, if you haven't played it, doesn't follow specific patterns. So you can't just wait for an alien to walk past and then get past, or in this case, a dinosaur. It learns, it hears you, and it reacts to how you play the game. That would be amazing.
It would be incredible.
Only if, just before a dinosaur attacks you, it stops and you go, clever girl.
Clever girl.
And then it eats you.
And then it
That's the only way I accept it.
And Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Clever girl.
That would be amazing. I would love to see this as a remake, full HD, Gosh, I'd even play it if they did 60 frames.
Yeah?
Yep, and I hate 60 frames.
Yeah.
It's because you're a movie guy.
60 frames killed my
Because
father.
I'm a movie guy. Everything looks weird if it's over 24 frames.
What's next?
Another one. Oh, I'll do this one now. This one is a little bit controversial, I guess. It's KOTOR, or Knights of the Old Republic, because they did have a remake being done.
Well, they had a title screen. They had a GIF.
They had a GIF, they had a title screen.
They had some cinematics.
And then problems with the production, with the developers as far as I'm aware, squashed this, right?
So I've never played this game.
Really?
Yep, I've played Dark Forces. I've played Jedi Order or whatever it was. Not Jedi Order.
Outcast?
Jedi Outcast.
You played Shadows of the Empire?
Yep. I got Shadows of the Empire. I was just talking to. I actually was talking to Michael Towns about it. He picked up a Dash Rendar figure the other day, and I was very jealous.
Really? I didn't see it at the fair.
Yeah. No, day after.
Oh,
after. I've never played this. I was going to wait for the re-release to play it. I mean, I know the twist ending. I know all that stuff.
So this one came out on Xbox and PC in 2003. It's an RPG in the Star Wars universe set 4,000 years before the formation of the Galactic Empire. So you get to choose from 3 basic classes, which were Scout, Scoundrel, or Soldier. Which one would you choose?
Scoundrel.
Of course. And you get to evolve your character as you play using light and dark side points. So your character can either lean more towards the dark side or more towards the light side. I know I pointed at you for the light side.
Yeah, I know. What's wrong with you?
The story, and with these characters and gameplay elements with Jedi Fallen Order style graphics and combat, would be amazing. I want to see what they've done with Jedi Fallen Order, but with the story and characters from this, and the elements of like the light side, dark side.
Yep.
Sort of that morality side of things, a little bit Infamous. I shouldn't say a little bit Infamous. This did it way before Infamous. That to me, and get it so that it's canon. We want to see these characters.
Isn't it
become
canon?
Well,
Wasn't there a Darth Revan statue in Last Skywalker or whatever?
No,
it was?
this is now part of the Legend series.
But Darth Revan's canon, right?
I don't think so yet. I think there was a lot of talk about him, the next Jedi Fallen Order, or what's it called, Jedi Survivor game, bringing Darth Revan into canon. Hopefully,
Right.
cross fingers.
Legends was so great.
What's now called Legends, which was just the expanded universe before.
Yep.
Please remake this, give it the Jedi Fallen Order vibe, and bring Revan into the current universe, please.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, number 6.
Earthbound or Mother 2 for the Super Nintendo in 1994. It was the second game in the Mother series. You played as Ness, traveling the world, collecting melodies from ancient sanctuaries to defeat
Gygus.
Gygus.
Yeah,
That's right.
I've always read that. I've never actually heard it.
I
said
read
like
it,
that.
went giggity, and I went, no, that's a
Giggity.
different character
Giggity.
that I don't really want to get into.
Now this
'cause-
was the pick that you chose to be.
yeah, because it's a great game.
I've never played it.
They all right. So unofficially, Undertale is like a remake of this, like
Yeah,
Oh, really?
It's a straight up
Yeah.
tribute to Earthbound and Mother.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Didn't know that.
There's even I don't know if you've heard of Game Theory, Matt Pat Game Theory on YouTube. He did a whole thing where this is actually like Sans is Ness from Mother.
Oh.
And he makes it fit. He makes it work. But yeah, it's a really cool game, really relaxing game. You can play this, the original one, on the Nintendo Online for the Switch. It's on there.
Yeah, you can play both.
Yeah.
The one and Earthbound.
Yeah, they're great games. Really fun, light RPGs. Good storyline. You have to sink a whole heap of hours into them, but that's okay. Sometimes you want an epic that you can go for ages.
Yeah.
They will never release Mother 3, so don't even try to get on to Reggie about
I
it.
was literally just about to say
What
everyone needs
style-
to tweet at him.
What style would you like to see this remade as? Do you want to see it sort of done in today's standards, but kept the same sort of style? And
No,
same sort of
this
gameplay?
one I want to see Link's Awakening.
You want to see this getting the Link's
Yep.
Awakening
Yep,
treatment?
give it the Link Awakening treatment.
So you want to
that'll
keep
look
it
cool.
like the isometric
Yep,
view,
yep.
but nice and
Sort of like those chibi toys
yeah.
running around.
See, I was just about to say I would like to see it keep the same point of view and battle systems and stuff,
Yeah,
but I wouldn't like to see it done in the Link's Awakening style, just like a more polished version of maybe Link Between Worlds.
Okay.
Because I feel like Earthbound, as it is already quirky and weird enough that having like a toy box look to it, like Link's Awakening did, wouldn't really fit.
Townsy in the chat has asked if we could be remade as a military shooter.
Easy.
Cool. All right. Earthbound, Mother 2. Actually, Ante, would you like to take number 7?
Ooh, yeah, go on then.
All right. I got a feeling, because we were talking about it a little before, and you were pretty keen.
Yeah, so this one is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. So this was, I think, the second or third in a series where you play...
It was second.
Yeah, there we go, because the first one was like Blood Omen or something?
Yes,
where you play
correct.
as Kain?
Yes.
So yeah, you play as Raziel, who, prior to the events of the game, is a vampire, and as you're about to see in the opening cutscene, gets turned into like a ghosty wraith thing.
He gets murdered by Cain, doesn't he? And then
Yeah, because I think the whole story, if I'm remembering correctly, is Cain is obsessed with becoming the most powerful creature on the planet and evolution and progressing his power and influence. And as we're about to see, Raziel evolves wings out of nowhere, and Cain gets rightfully so miffed. He's in charge. He's meant to be the special one, and
he
he's
wants
all of
wings.
a sudden not. So you get murdered. You turn into a ghosty thing.
A reaver of souls.
Yeah, that. And you're dead for so long that the kingdom you were part of is gone, and you're sort of climbing your way back through and finding out what happened to, I think, is it called Nosgoth?
Yes.
Man, my memory is good today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically just, it's like a Zelda style, like Ocarina of Time, that kind of style, I hesitate to say open world, but that kind of structure. You wander around, you find dungeons, you fight enemies and bosses, you get new abilities to do more traversal until you get to the end of the game.
It's the abilities that I found really cool. So you can move between the physical world that you're seeing him in now and like a spectral plane. And when you're in the spectral plane, you can like phase through objects and you can walk on water, like you lose your density. So you could switch between spectral plane and the physical plane to overcome obstacles in certain areas. It was really cool. I think like way ahead of its time.
Yeah, super ahead of its time in terms of like it's similar in how Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time had their shadow world versus like future and current timeline sort of mechanics. As you've said, you had like the ghostly realm where you could do certain things that took effect in the, I guess, physical realm.
Yeah.
Is the best way to put it. It was just super interesting. I didn't get super far with it as a kid because it was a little bit above me, which is weird because 7 wasn't. But whatever. Yeah, good game. Needs a remake. Give us what's a good modern day equivalent?
I'd
Make
love
it
to
like
see
Horizon.
Do it like Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That'd be
Actually,
sick.
I would love. Yeah, that would be super cool.
See if I can find
I would
some
love
gameplay.
the spectral world to be sort of like everyone's watched Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
When Frodo puts on the ring and turns invisible and sees the world around him.
Yeah, that's a really
Like
good
that.
analogy.
Yeah, cool.
That's
That
super
would be
cool.
that would be awesome.
Anyway,
All right. Number 8. One of my favorites. I've talked about these games many, many times. I have plans to stream them. I was actually going to do it tomorrow, but my PC's not working. Funny enough, it's not just the Hack the Dino PC.
I mean, it's working. It was just running at 100% CPU usage from the minute we turned it on.
By running a GOG game. I want to see a remake of Space Quest 1. Space Quest is one of my favorite games. It's the games I grew up playing. This came out in 1986 for PC. It is very, very, very loosely based on the Wrath of Khan. Did you know that?
No.
About a star generator that gets stolen. They go to a desert planet. There's homages or rip-offs, whichever way you'd like to look at it.
Rip off.
Yeah. It has had a VGA remake back in the day, but, it took it from EGA to VGA. I want to see a full third-person, open-world remake of this, keeping the humour, but updating the humour at the same time. So keeping the same plot points, same characters, puzzles. These games were hard because they kind of relied on you doing everything at a certain point in time, but not necessarily knowing exactly what's going to have an effect later on. So if you don't do something right at the very start, you can go through the whole game, and then right at the end, it'll be like, can't finish the game. Guess it sucks you didn't do that one thing back at the start. Like that, those kind of punishing sort of things.
That's awful.
It's
I would not enjoy that. I would rage quit and never play it again.
That's why you save often. I would love to see this in full 4K, glorious detail. The way that I thought about it when I used to draw pictures of this game as a kid. I used to draw the scenes as I thought they would look like in a comic or something. That's how obsessed I was with these, and I would love to see them more. Funnily enough, the character's name Roger Wilco, not named in the first one.
No?
You put your own name in. You can make up your own name. It's only in the sequels that it became Roger Wilco.
That's the same as the first Zelda games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Only, I think, up until Breath of the Wild, you could put your name in for any of the characters, and that's who it would be. That's why Ocarina of Time, whenever I do a playthrough of that, I call Link Mr. President. What are we going to do, Mr. President? Thank God you're here, Mr. President. Makes it seem a lot more action-filled.
When I was playing... was it Diamond? I think Pokemon Diamond. I called my best friend, Poopy McFace, because I'm mature.
I did a similar thing when I first met Aerith in the current playthrough of 7 that I'm doing.
You called it Poopy McFace?
No.
Oh.
I mean, it's 25 years old at this point, so spoilers, whatever.
Called her Shish Kebab.
It lets you name everyone, so I just called her Gonna Die.
Oh.
So when you leave the next screen, she's like, "Hey Cloud, nice to meet you. My name's Gonna Die."
I didn't know she died.
Yes, you did. We've talked about it a million times, Floppy. And anyway, she's not gonna die in Remake. It's fine.
Shish Kebab.
I didn't know that either. I'm playing the damn thing now.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you things that don't happen.
Yeah.
Oh, good save.
Yeah, good one.
All right, Ben, you want to take number 9?
Sure, number 9. WWF No Mercy, and Floppy in this game,
yes,
everyone dies. They all die, and we rebuild a new WWF and call it the WWF. That's why it's called WWE, because everyone dies in WWF land.
Now,
spoiler alert.
No, seriously, why did it change? Because I don't know.
You suggested this, and I was like, really? Like a WWF game? Why does that need a remake?
So this game in WrestleMania 2000 are known as peak wrestling games. They got the mechanics down perfectly. They got the creator wrestler down perfect. You could create anyone with any moveset. So back in the day, me and my friends, King Kaiju included, we used to have a backyard wrestling federation because we were all big fans of wrestling when we were all 14.
Nerds.
Yeah, it was great. We could create all of us in there with our costumes that we'd wear in this backyard wrestling federation.
Did you make costumes to wear in your backyard?
Yeah, well, mine was like a white shirt and like I taped up my hands like Ryu. Like it was nothing.
You did.
It was nothing huge. I used to do moonsaults though, so that's pretty cool.
What the heck is a moonsault?
I mean, moonsaults when you run, jump off something to probably about waist height and flip over backwards and land with your chest on them as they're laying on the ground. So yeah, they had entrance themes. You could like go, all right, my finisher moves, the Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner. You could have submissions. This game is just so much fun. You ask any wrestling fan back in the day, and No Mercy is the game that they all want to play. So much so, again, this game is worth about $100.
So what would you want to change much about this, or just update graphics? What would you want to do? Would you update the roster as well, or keep it?
Look, I don't even want the graphics updated that much. I just want it running smoother. I'd be happy for it to look like this. Someone did make one. I forget what it's called now, but they've made a very No Mercy-esque game. With the same grappling features. So a lot of wrestling games nowadays, you have to do all these complicated button moves.
Yep.
For this one, you like held towards and pressed a button and that grappled. And then like you pulled away and pressed another button and they hooked them up into a suplex. But then you could counter. And if you were fresher, your counters were more successful than if you were beaten down. And you had to beat them down enough that they got pinned. I used to just cheese it and put them outside so you couldn't get DQ'd and then hit them with a chair or a table and then get the 10 count. That's how you
listening
win.
To the podcast.
So this
is a video game show. Ben isn't murdering people.
This actually looks smoother than WWE 2K20.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's got complete character models as well. But even the storyline.
Did he just nut punch him?
Yeah, it's Tanaka.
It's Tanaka?
I think is it?
Tucker.
Tucker, yeah.
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
So that's a freaking pile driver right there. Anyway, great game. Loved it. I'd like to see a remake. You just have to pretty it up a bit, keep the mechanics the same, and I'll be a happy wrestling fan.
Now, number 10 is actually from Braden.
Are you going to read out his thing?
I am going to read out, but I forgot to put it in the run sheet. So what if you can find it there, I'm going to read out what I've got written. Maybe you can read out Braden's.
Sure can.
thing. So Braden has chosen Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah,
Townsy.
great game. I've got it all here,
This
by
came
the
out
way.
in Nintendo 64 in 96 and 97, depending on where you were. It was a third-person shooter. You got to play as Dash Rendar, and you were helping Luke rescue Leia from Prince... Now, I can never know how to say this guy.
Zizor.
Zizor. So this was set between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Which was its main selling point when it came out. And let's not forget, this was a Nintendo 64 launch title
was
exclusive.
this a launch title?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Came out with... was it a launch title? Mario... I'm pretty sure it was a launch title with Mario 64 and Pilot Wings.
Okay. That's cool. That's strong. Would you like to read out Braden's...
Sure. Asked why Braden thinks this should be remade, and I completely agree with Braden here. But they wrote, I think we are all really in a prime time for Star Wars to hit some power moves. With The Mandalorian, Andor, Visions, Jedi Fallen Order, and its upcoming sequel, High Republic, and LEGO all being huge for the brand, I think it's the perfect time to really give the fans some remasters. Hopefully the Knights of the Old Republic remaster doesn't die in the studio with its studio changeovers. Following the move with the novels and comic, I don't know what that means. Give them the Legends title treatment, accepting that while it may not be the current Disney-led canon, these are excellent stories from one of the most widely expanded upon fictional universes we have. Seriously though, just imagine seeing all those previous Star Wars games re-released with a Legends banner across the top. Easy money, Disney, call me.
That would be great.
No, completely agree. Just re-release them as a pack, and as Braden's put there, just put the Legends thing on it. Means it's not canon, and away we go. Or just make freaking Dash Rendar canon.
I like the idea that they've come up with the Legends tag at the top.
Yeah,
you don't have to make it canon. Then it's a Legends game. That's a great idea.
Yeah, alternate reality.
This looks really good for a Nintendo 64 game.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
It was, I think, the first game that you... this is an emulator. It didn't look this clean.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
This
might
is
be
an
someone
emulator.
playing on like Dolphin or something.
Yeah.
No, I grabbed some footage of just to show the game itself. It was definitely on an emulator.
Yeah.
Um,
But like the Hoth scene where you fly around and get the AT-ATs and you fly around their legs, I reckon this was the first game to actually do that. But it was a fun game.
Rogue Squadron.
Is it AT-AT or AT-AT?
AT-AT. All-terrain armored transport.
Yeah.
Don't question
And then there was
me.
AT-ST, which is all-terrain scout
transport. That was the chicken walker.
Yes. That's our top 10 games that we think need to be remade but have
I
been
want to play
overlooked.
this game. I'm going to play this game. I've got my 64 set up now.
I do have some honourable mentions to chuck out from people and Patrons and other people that we've talked to. Not necessarily games that were before PS3 and 360. So we've had Metal Gear Solid 3. Mm-hmm. I think you, Ben, wanted a remake of that one.
Yes, absolutely.
Anto and I would love to see a remake of F-Zero.
Specifically F-Zero GX from a GameCube.
Game Boy Dad I don't know if it's there floppy, but I'll bring it up now before it disappears into the chat stream.
Yes, mate.
Zelda Oracle games from the Game Boy, which I completely agree. They need to be remade because they're stupid expensive and they're actually really good games.
We've also talked about Half-Life.
Yep.
Needs a remake. I'd love to see an HD remake of Half-Life. Game Boy Dad and I both would love to see a Enslaved Journey to the West remake. Odyssey, Enslaved Odyssey, whatever.
It was Odyssey to the West, yeah.
Yep, thank you. Journey to the West story. I'd love to see a remake of that. Vanquish, I think, came from Townsy. That was a really fast-paced shooter with the whole sliding aspect on there. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a Super Arcade Platinum Games release.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it got ported to PS4 like a year or two ago.
It did. It was just a port to it, though. Azura's Wrath, I think that was... Who was suggested Azura's Wrath? Maybe in Triple Indie?
That feels like a Triple Indie game.
Might have been. Uncharted. I think the original Uncharted needs a remake.
Yeah.
Like the first Uncharted.
But replace Nathan Drake's model with Tom Holland.
Ooh. No. Maybe not. Townsy, I think, or Braden, but myself included, would love to see a Force Unleashed.
They're good games.
remake. They are great games. They are one of my favourite Star Wars games.
Yep.
I think. Of course, I didn't put these in here because Ben and I talk about them all the time.
Yep.
The original Metal Gear Solid. Mm-hmm. Chrono Trigger.
Yep. Give it the Octopath treatment. Do it. Just incidentally, you mentioned Half-Life.
Yes.
A little bit of news I forgot to mention previously. It's been announced that Half-Life Alyx is going to be a launch title for PSVR 2.
Are you kidding?
Nice.
Yep. Told
That's
you.
gonna be sick.
That was one of my predictions at the start of the year. Although I did also
Excellent.
say it'd launch this year. I was
Yes.
wrong there. But anyway, we're going to go through those picks soon.
You should.
Floppy,
Yes, mate.
do we have time for some deals?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we do. Now, I didn't get videos for these because I'm just going to breeze through them. I also forgot to do Switch again.
That's all right. We're really running out of time.
Okay, so we've got...
And we got some quizzing to do.
We do. All over your face. Now, PlayStation deals. There are some crackers in here. Who likes fighting games?
Yeah.
Me.
Right, you can get Tekken 7 for $10.50, down from $70.
I only like good fighting games.
That looks like a good
Ooh.
fighting game.
No, I've actually got Tekken 7 because it had Tatsuya Naka, who I have trained under. He did the fighting captures for one of the characters.
Oh, okay. There you go.
This footage is actually from Tekken 8 because I think people should buy 7 to make this better.
I technically have learnt karate from a Tekken character.
That's weird.
Yeah, cool, huh?
An absolutely ridiculous deal that you can get on PlayStation at the moment because is Hitman 2. Normally $106 for this edition, down to $15.90.
Why is it so expensive normally?
Whoa.
This is one with a whole heap of DLC and stuff in it, and like
Right.
extra stuff. But $106 down to $15.90. So if you're a Hitman fan, and like I'm a Hitman fan, but I own this physically, but get it. Now I put this one in here because I'm pretty sure Townsy is a Digimon fan. Am I right?
I guess they had to have one.
Digimon.
I know of at least two.
Yeah.
I think Game Boy Dad likes Digimon too.
No, he doesn't.
I like Digimon.
No, he
That's
doesn't.
fine.
No, it does.
Digimon World Next Order, normally $85, is down to $14 at the moment on the PlayStation Store.
Was that the new game that only came out a couple of months ago?
I think so.
Ooh, that's not a good
Unless it's
sign.
no, that was Digimon Survive.
Ah, was it?
Yep, that was a different one.
Right.
But yeah, over on the Xbox, coming to Game Pass this month is a couple of crackers. You got a Plague Tale Requiem coming straight to
that the new
Game
one?
Pass. Yes.
Day and date release?
I think so.
Cool.
And Persona 5 Royal
Ooh, boy.
coming
Ooh,
to
boy.
Xbox Game Pass.
Play that if you've got 150 hours.
To breeze, and that's just mainlining.
Or like I've played up to the second dungeon or whatever it's called. Cool game. Fuck, oozes style.
Yep.
Like just oozes style, charisma, and coolness. Great game.
It's going to be super interesting seeing how well it runs on Switch when it releases a few months later.
I probably wouldn't.
I ran on
only-
PS4, okay.
The only thing I'm going to say is, as you guys have already mentioned, Persona 5 Royal, one of the most, if not the most stylish game that's come out in the last 5 years or so. It absolutely requires a time commitment, so do not jump in if you're planning just to try and finish it in 20 hours, because it's just flat out not possible.
You will not get past the second, whatever it is, temple?
First palace, even.
Palace. Yeah. Yeah, with the teacher.
Yep.
Trigger warning as well.
It's got some sensitive stuff in
It's
there.
got a lot of triggering stuff, especially in that first story. So yeah, don't we're talking sexual assault and attempted suicide. So just be wary before you go in. Those themes are prevalent in it.
It's pretty heavy.
So if they get to you personally, maybe skip this one.
Do you know what you shouldn't skip though?
What's that?
You're ready for quiz?
I don't like that name.
You're ready to quiz on your face?
Yes.
You're on me about PG, but you're here quizzing on everyone's
Yeah, but
faces.
that's just the name of a game show.
Exactly. Whereas I just want to be ready for quiz, and you're all on me like a bad banana.
A bad banana.
That's right. All bruises everywhere, going all pussy.
Ew.
Anyway, quiz on your face is where I have 4 multiple choice questions about the gaming industry. 2 from my brain and 2 from 2 of our high level Patreons, which you can become if you head on over to hackthedino.com, but more on that a little bit later. I have 4 multiple choices for each question. Floppy, we'll call out Floppy if he thinks he knows an answer, and Anto will do the same, but with his lovely name. And I will go to that person and they will answer, and if they're wrong, they don't get a point. If they are right, they do get a point. Now, I do have a running tally here for the year of 2022, the year of rocket shoes. 2022, the official year of rocket shoes. Floppy, what do you like most about your rocket shoes?
I like the way that they allow me to reach new heights in life.
I like the way that I forget that I've got rocket shoes on and only put one shoe on. and
spin around in
and and I go, Jane, stop this crazy thing, like I'm a cartoon character from the 1970s. But actually, do you know George Jetson was supposed to be born like earlier this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear that. You know what else I like about rocket shoes?
What's that?
How they make me run like Wile E. Coyote.
Yep, true.
It makes my legs unhinge from
Yep,
my hips
yep,
and
yep.
just turn into
Dislocate,
circles.
just gone. Anyway, so Bennis from Toy Power Podcast is on 1. Trent from Toy Power Podcast is on 2. Braden's on 5. Mr. A Game's on 7. Jazz is on 7. Anto's on 25. And Floppy is leading still on 28. I don't think you've dropped the lead at all this year, have
I think
you,
we've tied a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, we've tied a few times. Floppy's not been on the show a few times. I've not been on the show a few times. You know.
Well, remember we had that Final Fantasy dedicated episode where I thought you were going to get like 6 questions right. You did get
and I
1.
flubbed it because it wasn't music based.
Anyway, first question comes from Patreon supporter Dylan the Villain.
Hey.
Dylan asks, what was the first video game to use a high score feature? Was it A, Starfire, B, Seawolf, C, Asteroids, or D, Space Invaders?
Anto. Seawolf?
Yes! Well done. Did you know that?
I had an inkling because I know as soon as you mentioned Space Invaders and what was the other one?
Asteroids.
Asteroids.
I was
As soon
going to
as you
choose
mentioned
asteroids.
that-
That was a good question, Dylan the Villain.
As
Yeah.
soon as you mentioned that, I was like, no, there was one before. I don't know the name. I know it's not the first one. I'm hedging my bets.
Well,
I thought you said Airwolf. And I was like, it's not going to be that.
there was an Airwolf game,
Oh,
I
there's
believe.
been a few.
Yeah, isn't it a like a 1945
Yeah.
over the
like
top?
a shmup.
Yeah, sweet.
I
I've got
need
a
that.
shmups.
I would love that.
Best one, I can't remember what it was called, but I played it on the PC Engine, and it's a shmup, but you're a dragon.
Oh, I know what you're referring to. I, just
Blue-
don't know the
I
name.
can picture this too. I've seen
Blue
it.
Dragon or something like that. And yeah, you get different power ups and you get like different heads, like extra heads grow out and
yeah.
you're throwing fireballs. That's a great game. Anyway, so you're on 26 now, Anto.
Way.
Question number 2 from me. Hideo Kojima
Oh God.
used what to help develop Metal Gear? Now wait until I read all these questions out.
Okay.
Was it A, paper mache, B, Lego bricks, C, Play-Doh, or D, a time machine to go into the future, get a copy of the game's completed source code before returning to the past and completing the game?
Floppy.
Floppy?
Lego bricks.
Correct! Did you know that one?
I did.
Oh, right. Well, of course, it's your favourite game of all time.
It is my favourite game of all time.
So,
had no
yeah,
idea.
Kojima, in order to get his vision out, built the stages with Lego and then got the developers to come in and so they could picture it
Yeah.
and move
plan
around.
it out. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that makes so much sense now.
It
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. That's how I like doing things like because I'm very visual.
Same.
I'm very learn by doing, and I don't learn too much by reading or something like that. So I totally understand that, and I totally get why you would do it.
Absolutely. I've told this story before, but one of my friends, Jason, is a mad Lego builder, and he built the first Lego to the first Doom game.
Do you remember words though?
No, I'm tongue tied today.
He built the first level of Doom.
He
out
built
of
the
Lego.
first level of Doom out of Lego,
That's
and
cool.
id Software shared it
That's great.
from
That
their
is-
Twitter.
Did he have secret doors in?
He had the whole kit caboodle.
Wow, I'd love to see
That's
a picture of
crazy.
that.
Yeah, no, he did really, really well. I'll see if I can find it.
I was straight up going to make a joke about Play-Doh because that's how he comes up with all these wacky ideas by eating too much of it.
We love you, Kojima.
You know what's funny? When you make homemade Play-Doh and your young children eat it, and then you forget, and the next day you get multicolored nappies and you freak out.
Oh, it's hilarious.
The next question
freak out.
is from Michael Towns.
Oh,
Do we have to get you to read a novel to us now?
Yeah, so Michael Towns thinks it's really, really funny to send me half a feature film's worth of information in order to get across something. Now, he sent a picture. I can't be bothered sending it over, so you'll just have to bear with me. So this is a very edited version of Michael Towns' question, so I could actually fit it in this episode. On the 1st of June, 1989, the iPhone was released. The I, not I as in iPhone that we have now, the I as in what you look through.
An eye.
An eye.
Phone.
How much was it? So just to keep it in context, this is like a full body virtual reality suit with the visor and gloves and jumpsuit and
And when
everything.
was this? 1989.
1989. Was it A, $250,000, B, $100,000, C, $50,000, or D, a long-ass wordy joke answer? As you can
Floppy.
tell, I edited it a lot because,
Floppy.
again, Michael Towns wrote out a small novella. Floppy?
$250,000.
Correct!
Oh.
$250,000 in 1989!
Just saying, that was a guess.
Who can you Kevin Bacon this to me as to how that's video game related?
Can you Kevin Bacon? The 60s
So
of Kevin
he sent a
Bacon.
picture. Anto, if you do a search for the iPhone, spelled EYE phone, it's a blue suit with a virtual reality visor. You'll be able to see it as soon as it pops up.
The first thing that comes up is the parody of it from Futurama.
Oh, well, I guess that's just as good.
Okay,
Maybe.
hang on. So 1987. It was 1987. You lied to us.
Did he?
I don't
Someone
think
did.
that gets the question.
Oh, I'm not taking the point away from it. I'm
Irrelevant.
just saying someone got their information wrong.
Or he's too busy writing other crap.
VRL research.
Just look in assets in the Discord.
Oh, Lawnmower Man. What a good film. Townsy's just
I've just put a
compared
link
to
in there.
Lawnmower Man. Such a good film. Pierce Brosnan, one of his
What
best.
the shit?
Oh, so you found it then.
He sounds like he found it.
Can you show it for us?
Insane.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, bring it up so everyone else can see it.
Oh, hang on.
But how would you describe that, Floppy?
I would describe it as a scuba suit with a giant
Pizza box on your face.
pizza box on your face.
Yep.
Wow.
So that would
was
cost you-
there anything inside the scuba suit that made it necessary for the VR?
Uh,
Did it have could you feel stuff?
Lots of leeches
Oh, gross.
just chomping away at your bodily bits.
yeah, that's terrifying.
If I saw that thing coming at me in a dark alley,
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Oh, mate, why'd you spend so much money? It's garbage."
yeah, I'd be like, look at you, you rich prick.
All right. So, last one. Anto,
one.
I think you're on, what are you on, 26?
26 Floppy's
And
on 29.
Floppy's on 30.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Floppy's on 30.
Yeah, I've got two right.
Oh, yep. So you have my bad.
So here we go. What was Doom's original working title?
Oh.
Was it A, Attack of the Attackers, B, Dread, C, Brutal Bounty, or D, Wolfenstein
Anto.
in Space?
Anto,
Anto?
I'm gonna go Dread.
Incorrect.
Oh, wow.
Can I have a guess?
Well, yeah, it's up to you.
Yes, your turn.
Brutal Bounty.
Incorrect.
Oh, what was it?
Attack
Wolfenstein
of the
in Space.
Attackers.
So
way.
stupid.
That was its working title.
I thought that was your joker.
No, my
That's
joke
so
one was
dumb.
Wolfenstein in Space.
That's not as jokey as Attack of the Attackers.
What a cool name, though.
That is so dumb.
I love the way you're personally insulted, Anto.
That's what? That's like saying Floppy's a charismatic charisma man.
Yeah,
I mean, I am. That's 100% correct.
it's great. Attack of the Attackers.
Oh,
Fantastic.
We're getting attacked by people who attack. I mean, it makes sense. It's just not creative.
violence of the violent violenter. What the? No.
That's a better one,
Hey,
actually. That's
take it up with the Romero.
I'm gonna tell him to suck
John?
it down.
Add it to the list.
John Romero?
That's the one. At the end of that round of, what's this game called?
Quiz on Your Face.
Quiz on Your Face. You're all ready for quiz. We have Ben S on 1, Trent on 2, Braden on 5, Mr. A Game on 7, Jazz on 7, Anto on 26, and Floppy kicking all the butt on 30.
Hey.
We've been Hack the Dino. This has been our gaming cast where we bring you the video games news, previews, and discussions on all the things that the games like. If you like this, you can help us out. How can people help us out, Floppy?
You can jump over to hackthedino.com, click on the little Patreon button, and if you wish, become a Patreon.
Oh, fantastic. Patreon people get a free post-show show.
You do? But
Like
post-show
Attack of
show
the-
is like Attack of the Attackers.
Attack of the Attackers. Post-show show.
Post-show show. You get a monthly Dino More extra show.
Yep.
At certain levels, we'll read your name out and do some more calls.
So you can see down the bottom there for the people watching on twitch.tv/HackTheDino or YouTube.com/HackTheDino. We have got a lot of our Patreon supporters scrolling throughout the show. So if you have a business or a company or a website or whatnot, you can pay us something like $2 a month and just have free advertising for the
$3.
dozens of people who watch our show.
I'd also like to show now I've done it.
Yeah, see?
I'd like to
Contagious.
throw a shout out to Ash Knight, Karen Knight, Dylan the Villain, Triple Indy, Mike Towns, Game Boy Dan.
Game Boy Dodge. But this isn't all we do. Did we thank Michael Towns, Game Boy Games?
Yeah, we did.
We did?
Yeah, I said Mike Towns.
Okay, good. Game Boy Games. Check out Game Boy Games.
Congratulations to Mr. Townsy for hitting Twitch affiliate last week.
Oh,
Damn,
very
it's
good.
Twitch affiliate. Well done.
Well done. So head on over to hackthedino.com. You can find all our links to our Twitch, our YouTube, our Spotify, our SoundCloud, Patreon. It's all there, hackthedino.com. And if you don't have any money to throw our way, that's okay. We understand. You can help us out by telling your friends. A lot of the comments that we receive, once people are exposed to us and our nudity,
And have had their shots.
yep, they are given superpowers, but actually like the show.
Yeah.
And that's how shows grow. So by recommending us, saying you should listen to these two idiots, they ramble about crap, you might actually get a friend or two.
Follow, subscribe, and share with one person. Done.
Yeah, that's right. And just like the song, you've got a friend in me. Floppy, this isn't all we do.
It's true. It's not.
What do you do with your bad self?
I also have a little page over on Instagram called Floppy Plays Games, where I like to share images of things that I have purchased, picked up, experienced, planning to play one day, including my pickups from the Toy Fair.
Nice.
That we have there. What else have I got on there? Oh, one of the games I might stream this tomorrow, actually. I picked this up because it is super weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Alfred Hitchcock fan, and they've made an Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo game.
Nice.
I don't know how close this is going to be to video Vertigo, the film, if at all, but I'll find out. But that's what I do.
That's what you do. Anto,
Hello.
what do you got going?
I, as most people know, bit of a Final Fantasy nut.
Oh, really?
When things load, nothing's updated on it too much just yet, but this is my what I'm happy to share with the world social media stuff. I put up pictures of my Final Fantasy collection, which has grown quite a bit in the last week thanks to a toy fair.
Yeah, you're doing. We all did very well at that toy fair.
We did very well. Yeah, I think the most impressive stuff I've got is in this little short here, the PlayStation 3 Advent Children release that came out after the movie did in Japan, the limited Crisis Core PSP, which is numbered. There were only 77,000 of them made.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say 77, and I was like, what?
Not quite that rare. I think mine is sitting around the 40,000 printed one. Got my little shrine to Final Fantasy 7 because I own like 14 copies of it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I will update this more as things move on, but yeah, other than that, this is me.
You can head on over to Mr. Benjamin to see, likewise, all the stuff that I buy and purchase and pick up and have fun. And I'd like to announce thank you to everyone who watches this and actually did go and follow me because I finally cracked the 1,000 followers.
Hey!
So, yay me! It kept on... Remember if there was about 6 months where it was just teasing me?
Yeah, I kept unfollowing and then following again.
One thing I forgot to share during our pickups, which has just reminded me, I got this, which is a show bag from the 1999 Pokemon Poke Tour that came to Australia. We can see it on the screen there. In there is a booklet, a label that you put on your books with Ash and Pikachu, and a pamphlet for all the Pokemon games and consoles that came out in 1999. So that's Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue. It did originally come with a card as well, which I didn't have, and I think some Pokemon Snap stickers. But that was really cool. I got that off Julian for $10, and he was only giving it away because he had a set of first edition Pokemon cards box sets that you had to buy, and he'd give you one of these. And I just said, well, I helped you out. Can I buy one? And he went, yeah, right, here. So that's a really, really cool pickup as well. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, all my stuff is on there that I picked up, including I got a PC big box of Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis for $1.
That is so good.
That was really, really cool. Happy with that. As well as all the pickups I
Great
got
game.
from my adventures in the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair.
Look at all those comics.
There they are. Those are wonderful. Oh yeah, first appearance of Norman Osborn. I finally got that because
You
I
bought
collect.
more comics and in this photo than I've picked up in my entire life, I think.
Well, it's because I'm really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what his mum keeps telling him.
But you can also head on over to Instagram's Hack the Dino, at Hack the Dino, for the official Hack the Dino Instagram, where I don't put up a lot because it's time consuming and I don't have time to do all that sort of stuff. But if you go to hackthedino.com, there's a link there. You can join, follow us, share there. I put up a video every now and then. There's a nice photo of all the dinos there, looking all nice and lovely, all happy.
Look at us, looking just what a bunch of handsome people.
We're going to get Mr. McGuinness back on the show at some point very soon as well. Yeah, lots of plans coming along, so be sure to follow us on Insta, share it with friends, and have a good old time.
We haven't talked about one other page that you deal with.
Oh, really? Oh, Back Game Arts! I completely forgot about that. I've only put one up this fortnight. Floppy, I believe you've seen it.
Bubble of the week.
What on earth is that?
So I've just got the quotation mark here for... I can't explain this to the podcast listeners, but I think this description that I've put up there will explain it all. So there's a picture of a young ruffian riding an animal of some description. And all I've written there is, can you spot the penis? Floppy?
I don't know which one of the three you're talking about.
So see the blue thing that the kid's riding on?
Yeah.
See in between its legs?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that was a tail.
Nope, that's a dong, I'm pretty sure. That's swinging all in the bruise.
I thought the bit next to his cheek, which might be...
That's his arm.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, is it?
Yep,
Yeah.
2 arms are accounted for.
It's a leg. It's a leg. I thought that was it coming out the bottom of his shorts.
No, it's probably a tail, but it looks like a penis. Anyway, Bad Game Arts, where you can see the worst bad game art. Oh, and the second one, Dylan the Villain.
wrestling one?
If you've found some bad game art, head on over to Bad Game Arts with
Why
an
has
S.
that guy got no head?
Oh, because he's a wrestler. He's given himself a headlock.
Dylan find this one, not you.
Yeah, Dylan the Villain submitted this to me,
Oh, that's bad.
which you can too over at Bad Game Arts. Put it up there. Have a look. Have a fun time looking at the Bad Game Arts that we have there.
Wow.
Worst game art.
Man, there was so many bad ones, isn't there?
Oh, I love it. I thought I was going to run out. But
Whoa, what was that Finders Keepers castle?
Oh, that's the knight with the shining sword, the mischievous-looking mouse, or the penis castle.
Yep, that's the one that caught my eye.
I bet. But we've been Hack the Dino. You've been you. And until this time in the future, when you come back and go, remember this one simple thing. Anto?
Don't put your penis on game box art.
Floppy?
I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's the words I live by. But if you do things that you shouldn't do, pretend you didn't do them and it all feels better.
I've got something to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And the stream. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, we don't have an outro button.
Do-do-do. Well, yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Scroll down. Left-hand side. Scenes.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot I could do that.